there's been a great deal of discussion about the best way to effectively counter ISIS very sophisticated online engagement and recruitment activities. Much of that discussion has focused on how best to counter their use of technology, for example, kicking them off one platform or banning them from another platform. From our perspective, I think that this is really more than just a battle of technologies. It's actually a battle of ideas. And what that means is that in order to be effective in countering ISIS, what we need to do is reframe how we think about the problem and think about it through a marketing lens or adopting a marketer's mindset, which means coming at the problem from the perspective of offering a more powerful counter narrative as opposed to just looking for ways to subvert their use of technology. We need to look at ways of subverting their message, and that means coming at the problem with a more effective counter narrative. In this battle of ideas, we can borrow from some of those organizations or even corporations who are employing some of these tactics very effectively in their own marketing and outreach efforts. Take, for example, Ford Motor Company, which has adopted a very sophisticated approach to delivering its message, creating a steady drumbeat of very compelling content that's designed to appeal to the specific interests and information needs of their target audiences from a consumer perspective, and then taking that information, taking that narrative, and telling those stories through a variety of channels to reach the target audience that's intended to reach. And they understand very well that, even though we're in a world of new technologies and new platforms, that the content itself matters just as much, if not more, than the platform through which you're delivering it. And that's a lesson that I think we can borrow from or learn from in our efforts to find effective ways of countering or subverting ISIS online engagement and recruitment efforts. We've been talking about this issue as though it's a new problem. In fact, it isn't a new problem. Extremists and terrorists have for decades reached out to people to try to engage them, to recruit them to their ideas or their way of thinking, and encourage them to act on their behalf. What's really changed, though, are the tools that are available to these organizations like ISIS to reach out and engage with people directly in a one-on-one kind of a way. In order to combat that, we have to leverage those same tools, but more importantly, again, we have to think about what it is we're saying to people through those tools. And there are lots of examples we can borrow from and other organizations that we can learn from. And we really do need to think about this in some ways as a marketing challenge, and how we can reach the same audience that terrorist groups like ISIS are trying to reach with a more compelling, more engaging narrative, and reach those people in a one-on-one kind of a way with a message that will help to subvert what it is that they're hearing from these terrorist groups.